This is a homage beat. This is a homage beat.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the W.A.D.E concept. Now, let me just check something really quick because we always have to do this nowadays. Okay, we're good. Making sure the audio is good. What is going on, everyone? I'm your host, as always, Wade Plemons, and thank you for being back here with me. I'm especially excited today because, as you guys know, tomorrow is not tomorrow, it's Saturday. I want it to be tomorrow. I want it to be right now. I'm hyped, but it's Saturday. This Saturday, we have our annual UFC end of the year card, and that usually features one of their most spectacular cards they put on. And that's because they want to end the year off with a bang. They want to put everything they've had into this very last card and just throw all the surprises at us. So they put 3 title fights on this card. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about UFC 245 this Saturday, December 14th, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when the main card starts. But listen, guys, you know what the W.A.D.E concept does. We're going to be there all day watching every fight, reacting to every fight. And today, we're going to do some predictions. But before we get into any type of predictions, any type of fight breakdown, we are going to do one thing. And that is thank you guys for always giving me the support that I don't know if I even deserve. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And as the year kind of closes out, it gives me a little time to reflect. We have, I think, a couple more streams we're going to do, but it's just kind of been on my mind all day. I took a lot of time off. I lived in Florida when I first started this podcast. Shout out to Josh in the chat. Epstein didn't kill himself. Facts, big facts. I started this podcast in Florida 2 years ago, as you guys can see. And I was never really confident in myself in the podcast, and I would kind of come and go, never really was consistent with it. And this year I made a commitment to myself to be more consistent with this and other things in my life, and that's paid off for me. It's given me a sense of self-belief, and you guys have been the biggest reason for that. So thank you so much for the support this year, and let's keep it going into 2020. We got big things coming. Your boy is possibly getting his fight career started early 2020. You guys, if you don't see it, check out the Instagram down below. We got cool things going on in 2020 on the channel and in my personal life. So thank you guys. If you're new here to the W.A.D.E concept, make sure you like the videos. Make sure you subscribe if you like what we're doing. And hit that little notify bell, because apparently the subscriptions, while I appreciate them and thank you so much, they don't really mean a lot to you guys, because you guys don't even get to see the videos half the time. You don't get to see the live streams. You don't get to see the in-person live reacciones on Saturdays. I know you're not doing anything all day. I know you're not doing everything all day. I'm sure you guys got stuff to do, but come by on a Saturday once in a while. We have a good time. So hit that subscribe button, and yeah, thank you guys. All right, so let me get a little sip of my bubbly. What's going on, guys? It is a little bit later in the week. Josh says, do what you love. 100%, man. You got to do what you love. And I'm learning more and more, even if it's not necessarily a career for me yet, doing what I love is going to be a career for me at some point. So the more time I dedicate to it outside of my job, my day-to-day work, the more I'm going to reap those benefits, reap those rewards. So if you do what you love, if you want to do something and you love doing it and you want to make a career out of it and you're not necessarily in a place where you can do so yet, do it in your free time. Build something for yourself. Do something that is going to get you noticed on that next level, is going to show that company or that person or that organization that you want to be a part of that you can do this. And this is why you can do it, because you're already doing it. So that's why I started this podcast. And say we take this thing to the moon. We don't need anybody else, man. We're doing it right now. So like Josh said, do what you love. Anyway, yes, it is a little bit later in the week this week. It is a Thursday. We are 2 days away now. I watched a lot of the media day today. Colby Covington obviously doing his best Trump supporter shtick. Same stuff Colby always does. But yes, we're a little bit later. So we have predictions today. We're going to do something a little more fun for this watch party Saturday. We're going to do predictions today. We're going to predict, I'm going to say, let's predict 2 fights off of the prelims in the entire main card. And that's not the early prelims. We're picking off the ESPN2 prelims. We'll pick every fight off the main card. Holy cow, this card's stacked on the main card. And what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 fights. If I don't get to 500, which means if I don't win 4 out of the 7, like plus 500, I want you guys to give me some sort of punishment wager that you want me to do, whether that's eat a raw egg, or I'll do it live on stream. I'll do it either Saturday as soon as the fights end, before we get off stream, I'll do it there, or I'll do it live on the next week's weekly podcast. Or if it's something I can't do live on the podcast that we got to go out somewhere and do, I will do it. You guys let me know what you want to do. What punishment should I get? Because look, I've had this running shtick going on for years on the podcast that I never lose fights. I'm always predicting correctly. It's just not true. I lose a lot more than I win. I pick, for whatever reason, wrong a lot more than I pick right. And I don't know if that's because I just don't know the sport like I think I know the sport, or it's probably what it is. But regardless, now is your chance to capitalize on me being an MMA idiot. If you think that I'm going to go under 4 wins. Let me know what I should do if I don't get those 4 wins. You can hit me up on Twitter. Obviously, that's below. You can send it to me DM on Instagram. You can leave it in the comments section. You can leave it in the chat while this podcast is going on. Either way, let me know. And Kelsey, thank you. Let me know, and we will do it. Whatever it is, we will do it. So I have to win 4 out of the 7 fights I pick. So coming into our picks this week, man, guys, I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this card's not getting as much attention as it should. And I said this on Twitter earlier today. I think it's because we have, especially the main event, eat an entire Carolina Reaper. I will look at doing that. No milk. Dang, Josh is a savage, yo. Can that kill me, Josh? Just like, let's make sure it can't kill me. Josh, can me eating a Carolina Reaper pepper kill me? If it can't, then I'll do it. But if it's like actually going to kill me, I obviously can't do that. Make sure there's no like serious health hazards, but if there's no serious like I'm going to die type thing, I'll do it. I don't mind doing it. If that's the wager, Josh put it out there. Chat, somebody, I need a second in command to say, yes, do that. Because right now we have on the table, if I don't get 4 out of our 7 fights, to eat an entire Carolina Reaper pepper with no milk. That's the challenge right now. I need a second in command to second Josh's challenge. Anyway. Oh yeah, so the reason I feel like this card isn't getting the attention it really should, because look at the names on this card, guys. I'm gonna go to podcast of fighting that we're looking at here. Josh said, I don't know, Google it. I'll have to look it up after the stream. If it's not like seriously going to injure me, then we'll actually think about doing that. But these are huge names in the MMA world. They're talking about legends of the sport: Uriah Faber, Jose Aldo, Amanda Nunes, the greatest women's fighter we've ever seen. Peter Yan, up-and-coming bantamweight. Marlon Moraes was everybody's pick to beat Henry Cejudo for the bantamweight title until Henry Cejudo does Henry Cejudo things, right? So, and even not just that, we have Mike Perry, Jeff Neal on the card. These are bigger names. Ketlin Vieira, undefeated. I mean, we're talking about a stacked card, and then I sit back and I go, why is this not getting more attention? In my opinion, it's because, one, there's always the look forward, what's next. And while we have a big-time fight here, Conor McGregor's fighting in January. Habib Tony just got announced. At the same time this card just happened, we just had the Jorge Masvidal, BMF, Nate Diaz fight. And, in my opinion, one of the bigger reasons is because Colby Covington, who's in the main event, who is, been on the Candace Owens show this week talking about how his whole thing is a shtick, and he did it so that he could get saved from being cut from the company. And I think we all knew that. I don't think he was surprising anybody when he said it. But we see that he's in this main event against Kamaru Usman, and it's because, yes, Kamaru has the title, Marty Fake Newsman, the whole thing, but where's the real vitriol? Where's the real drama or the real beef, between Colby and somebody else? And it's not Kamaru. It's George. It's Jorge Masvidal. And even this week, even as of this morning, they're still going back and forth on Twitter. George talking about how he used to let Colby stay on his couch, how he saved him from getting jumped in Miami. Like, there's real, like, everybody called it a work. Everyone did. And I chose to listen to Uncle Chael. I chose to listen to the guys that were saying, look, they're working you. This is all behind the scenes. They're good friends. Well, it wasn't. And these guys really do have bad, bad blood. And the more I put this on Twitter earlier, the more this continues to kind of turn and the wheels kind of start to move toward Colby and Jorge Masvidal, it almost makes you overlook this big, huge fight, this big, huge championship fight between two guys, 15-1, very similar style. Some consider Kamaru to be the best wrestler in this division. Some consider Colby to be the best wrestler in this division. It's such a close fight, and it should be one of the most interesting fights this year just because you really don't know who has the edge here. Like, who's the better wrestler? For that matter, who's the better striker? Joshua says, hope Colby wins, but I don't know. See, even Josh in the chat, I don't know. This is the hardest pick of the card for me is this main event fight because they're almost on the same level in everything they do. I think Kamaru possesses a little more power in his strikes, but Colby throws an insane amount of strikes. I think Colby's forward pressure is a little bit more aggressive and continuous than Kamaru's, but I think Kamaru's is more driven, as in he takes a person down harder. He starts to actually pick you up, take you down, hold you down, whereas Colby, will pick you up, take you down, kind of let you up, hold on to you, step back, throw punches, grab you, put you down again. Doesn't really work down there. He gets you back up to your feet and then starts throwing. So they're so similar, and this should be way more looked at, but I just think that the Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington storyline is too big to ignore at this point. I mean, the guys live together. Like, Colby lived on his couch. They trained together. They were good friends. There's videos on YouTube of I don't know, it was like Jorge Masvidal's personal vlog story or vlog series he had, and Colby's in the back seat, a young Colby. They hung out all the time. So it kind of casts an overcast shadow on the entire card because you want to look forward to if Colby wins, can he get Jorge or what happens next? WWE lovers, can you show your foot on cam? Nah, can't do that, man. Sorry. How much you paying? Real quick. I'm asking for a friend. How much you WWE lovers, what is wrong with you? Can I show my foot? No, I can't show my foot on camera. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad you're in the chat. I'm glad you're here to watch, but come on, man. Come on. No feet will be shown on this stream at all. I think you can go to some websites that are on the dark web and you know, you can find that. New fan, LOL. Hey, listen. WWE fan, I get it. WWE lover, I get it. No worries. But, you know what I'm saying? We do strictly MMA breakdowns here. No showing of feet. My man. But I appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you. Josh. Yeah, that was a weird way to pop in there, you know, but hey, everybody has their own style. No big deal. Anyway. All right, guys. We got a card to predict. By the way, chat, let me know who you guys have. Let me know who you guys have in the Yeah, there you go. Joshua hooking it up. Let me know who you guys have on this card. Do you guys have certain picks? We're going to go through all 7, and you guys tell me who you want or who you think are going to win the fights, and I'm going to give my picks. We're going to start with Ketlin Vieira. Let's get back to our computer screen. Sorry about that. Appreciate the looks. Jura kick, Josh. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys. Basically, what I was saying in long story, Ketlin Vieira versus Irene Adala, 10-0, 10-5. Irene Adala really is not at this level yet, and Ketlin Vieira is a monster. Ferocious technique with her submissions. As of late, won a lot of decisions, but she's not very strike heavy. She's going to look to get this into a grappling exchange early. I think she submits Irene Adala in this first round, but if not, then I think definitely in the second. The reason that she's having to fight, I don't want to say having, but she is taking a fight against a number 10 ranked opponent, being the number 2 contender and really being the number 1 contender after this fight to the 135 pound champion, which, it's either going to be Amanda or Jermaine, is because Amanda, I don't want to say it's holding up 2 divisions, but she is bouncing between 2. So she's at 145, then she's at 135, then she's back at 145. The problem that you run into is a girl, especially for a girl like Ketlin or anybody in that number 1 contender's position, you can a la Aljamain Sterling, you could see it there, or, Joseph Benavidez at 125. The problem is when you have this big, long wait before your next fight because your champion is trying to simultaneously defend 2 championships, you have to then put that number 1 contendership, or in Vieira's place, her undefeated record, number 2 in the world, up on the line, because you have to stay active, especially if you're going to compete with the highest level like Amanda freaking Nunes. You have to stay active, have to keep honing your skills, have to keep going into training camp, because if not, the way she's running those divisions, she's fighting every 2 or 3 months. She's fighting. So Ketlin has to kind of take I don't want to say lesser opponent, but a lesser ranked opponent. I don't think she gives any problems to Ketlin Vieira. I think Ketlin wins this either by first or second round submission. So that's my first pick. We have Ketlin Vieira. I'm going to say second round. We'll do second round submission. And I appreciate you guys, man. Let me know I had no audio. Your boy is the worst when it comes to setting things up. So I appreciate it. I hadn't done the computer screen with the, with the little overlay in a while. You got to give me, give me some slack here. But yes, that's our first pick. Our second pick comes to us by way of the main event of the prelim card, and that will be Mike Perry versus Jeff Neal. Mike Perry, Jeff Neal. This is a tough fight to pick, man. And it really shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be, because on paper, Jeff Neal has everything that you would want to see in a guy that's fighting Mike Perry. Forward pressure, someone that backs Mike up on the back foot, has a 4-inch reach advantage. A guy that can not only control the octagon, but wins in a variety of ways. Mike Perry tends to have to win by knockout to win fights, or Mike's not winning a lot of decisions. He in my opinion, got robbed against Vicente Luque. His nose got busted. Yeah, it looked all terrible, but I thought he won that fight. But in this fight, I think it's going to be a war, man. I mean, Mike Perry doesn't come to eke out decisions. Jeff Neal, he has a repertoire of highlight knockouts as well. So this guy is not going to be coming in looking to point and move on Mike Perry. I think they're both going to come and throw some heavy shots. I think Jeff Neal and Mike Perry's my guy. Mike Perry was one of the first guys to like my stuff on Instagram, to like my stuff on YouTube, on Twitter. When I first started in Orlando, I love the guy's fight style. He was the reason I went and watched UFC Orlando. So to pick against him here is going to kill me. And, I usually wouldn't do it. No, you know what? No, we're not doing it. I'm picking Mike Perry. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm picking Mike Perry. I think he's going to come in and surprise a lot of people, surprise even me. His fight style usually is to kind of get his way, kind of bob and weave his head through, kind of okey-doke Mike Tyson style, and get inside, and I think he lands some vicious elbows. I think he gets Jeff Neal on the cage and does his work there in the clinch, throws some heavy knees. Again, those deadly elbows Mike Perry throws. And I think he gets a TKO. We're going to say middle of the second round TKO for Mike Perry. As much as I probably should pick Jeff Neal here, just, again, the advantages he possesses with his reach, his variety of styles in which he wins, I can't pick against my boy. Let's be honest, my picks will win. Kelsey always wins picks, guys. Show Kelsey some love in the chat, everyone. By the way, Kelsey, make sure you look up if I can eat a Carolina Reaper, an entire Carolina Reaper pepper. And if I can, if there's no health concerns at all, we'll do it. So Kelsey has got to give the okay on that. No milk, apparently. No milk. So we're going Ketlin Vieira. And by the way they win doesn't matter. That's kind of an extra bonus on top. If you guys want to put like an extra little bonus as to like I should get right how they win. Okay, Kelsey says I'll die. Okay, if I'm actually going to die, we can't do the Carolina Reaper, but we'll talk about it off stream. If we can do a little like extra cherry on top for how our fighters win. So if Mike Perry does win by knockout, maybe it's like we'll think about it Saturday. But for now, we're just going strictly off win-loss. So I've got Mike Perry. I've got Ketlin Vieira. Those are our two so far. All right, and then we're going to start on the main card. Straight from there, we get into the main card. And again, guys, the fight level doesn't drop off at all. In fact, I think it goes up because now we have a killer in Peter Yan. Nicknames No Mercy. Great boxing. A pit bull in the pocket. He just stays in there. And against some tough fighters, too. He's won some. I mean, he's obviously worked his way up through the division. They've given him guys to try to, test where he's at. He's right there at the top. I mean, again, this is one of these divisions where it is kind of held up because Henry Cejudo's not fighting. He's having some issues with the UFC. And not only is he not fighting at 135, his next slated fight was supposed to be at 125, putting an even longer delay on this division. So you do have some very high-level guys, even on this card, the top 1 through 3 or 4 contenders fighting each other to try to determine what's going to happen. Are we going to do an interim belt? What are we going to do? But, I mean, this fight I'll say this, it doesn't look good for Uriah Faber. Peter Yan can wrestle his ass off. He also is a great boxer. In the pocket, he will stay there, which could work out for Uriah because, again, Uriah did catch Ricky Simón in the pocket after being hurt in their fight. In his return fight from retirement, he got hurt by Ricky Simón. Simón tried to capitalize, and because he stayed in the pocket, got a little wild, Uriah was able to throw the big overhand and finish the fight there. I don't see that happening here. I think Peter Yan too skilled, too quick, too many tools as far as the grappling. I think Uriah usually does hold a grappling advantage over a lot of guys. In this case, I don't think he will. Uriah's always dangerous with his guillotine, always dangerous on the feet, as we just saw against Ricky Simón. But I do think Peter Yan just, again, too skilled, too good with his boxing, in my opinion, and his grappling. I just think he gives Uriah a world of problems, and I think he gets a decision win here. A pretty, I don't want to say easy, a very driven and earned decision. That was a terrible way to describe it, but basically, it's not going to be in question. A unanimous decision, I think Peter Yan wins every round. I don't see a knockout necessarily here, and I don't think he submits Uriah. I don't think Uriah puts himself in a lot of positions to be submitted. And I just think that Peter Yan outclasses him. Eslam, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome in. We're just going through predictions, Eslam, and we have wagers. Not wagers, but we have punishments on the line. So, Eslam, get with the chat. Kelsey apparently says that the punishment that's been bestowed upon me, should I not win 4 out of the 7 fights I predict, I was supposed to eat a Carolina Reaper pepper with no milk. Kelsey has informed me that I might actually die if I do that, so let's come up with something else. We'll do 2 or 3 options. Like, what are 2 or 3 options I can do maybe punishment-wise from you guys? Let me know, and I'll do it either live on stream that day, or if I can't do it live on stream, we'll record it. So, Islam, get your brain working. I need something, man. I need some ideas. And chat, anybody else in chat? Jurek Kick. Josh, obviously, you've given your think about it. WWE lover, let me know something. All right. As we move forward, next fight, we have Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo. Any other time, guys, any other card except maybe a pay-per-view, this is a headlining fight. This is a main event fight on any other card except, some of the pay-per-views, because those are mostly reserved for title fights. But this is a huge, huge fight. Two guys with explosive power. Honestly, now I don't want to jinx anything, and I shouldn't even say this, but two guys I really worry about making their way to the scale tomorrow. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's keep an eye on if either guy has trouble. And I'm not saying that just about Jose Aldo, because I saw Jose today at media day, and he looked pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. He looked terrible. He looked very sucked. It looked like all the water was sucked out of him. He just looked like a vacuum. So it didn't look good. Obviously, Jose's a little smaller than he's used to, coming in 10 pounds lighter at 135 if he can make the weight. But again, Marlon Moraes has had trouble making that weight too, so let's keep an eye on both guys. I didn't see Marlon too much today other than the face-off. But yes, we have two guys that are brutal strikers. Brutal. Marlon Moraes, one of the most feared strikers in this division, had Henry Cejudo in a bad way early in their fight until Henry came back and won that. Other than that, he's been the devastator at 135. Walked through everyone. Jimmy Rivera, Aljamain Sterling. He's beat every single person they put in front of him, not named Cejudo. And Sun Sao. After Sun Sao beat him, he came back and rectified that one. Give you an example of who Sun Sao's beaten. Oh, yeah, the former champion TJ Dillashaw is who Sun Sao has a win over. So this guy's beaten the top of the top. Jose Aldo, when you come down, we've seen it with TJ Dillashaw. It's not always the best idea, especially with how, again, just vacuumed out he looks. You don't know how recovered his body will be on fight day. It's hard to pick against Jose. Obviously, one of the most feared leg kickers. His stand-up is very fast, very powerful, explosive. It's tough, man. It's really tough. Both guys great on the ground, too. Jose's had a rough time as of late in his fights. Volkanovski got the better of him. Max did twice. It's tough, man. I think we're going to go with Marlon Moraes. I think we are. I think he's just shown at this division. This is a division that Jose's never fought at. At this, there's no consideration for if Jose's going to be fast enough. He is speedy lightning. The guy is quick and fast. But I just don't know how well he's going to take the shots 10 pounds down from where his original weight is. So, with that being said, I think Marlon Moraes gets it done. I don't know if this fight goes to decision either, man. It's a 3-round fight. I could very easily see Marlon Moraes winning a decision. I could also very easily see him knocking Jose Aldo out, and vice versa, but this is a toss-up, and I think we're going to go with Marlon Moraes by I think it's going to be early, man. I think he's going to catch Jose with something early and put him away. We'll say first round knockout for Marlon. First round knockout Marlon Moraes. I think he catches Jose with a head kick, maybe. It's one of those patented head kicks off some feints or off of a combination forward, and dazes Jose, and then he closes the show. All right. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to pick against Aldo, knowing how dominant he's been. But, I think at this weight, it's a little even the decision to get down there that his team made is kind of iffy. But I understand it. They want to get back to that world title contention. They want him to become, the feared Aldo again, the representation of Brazil in fighting. But you have guys like Marlon Moraes. I mean, look at this picture. How does this man get down to 135? I don't know. But when he's there, he's an absolute tank. He's so hard to deal with, especially early in the fight. So we'll see. And then, guys, we get into the gold rush. That's right. Championship territory, baby. And we're talking about Amanda Nunes versus Germaine de Randamie. I'm going to butcher her name so much this week, and I apologize, guys, but man, she has a hard name to say. Germaine de Randamie. Perfect. Got it. Nailed it. Cool. All right. There's a lot to go over with this fight. Let's go, man. Let's go, Islam. There's a ton to go over, though, because this fight's already happened. Amanda Nunes already won this fight, but she took basically what she did was she saw, okay, Germaine de Randamie GDR is a phenomenal striker. One of the best kickboxers at 135. And a lot of people don't know that because a lot of people only know her for ducking Cyborg. It's not really fair to her. At the time, there was good reason to understand why she didn't want to fight a Cyborg coming in at 145, who they built the division for her. There was a lot of kind of behind-the-scenes accusations going on of Cyborg, none of which, since the time that she had cleared her name, had been proven to be accurate. But there were also things in her past that were accurate as far as substances and testing that she had failed. So I don't necessarily blame GDR for not taking that fight, but also they already had a fight. She lost that fight to Amanda Nunes, won a very, very close and some would say controversial fight over Holly Holm, in which she smacked Holly twice after the round. So I don't know how she won that fight, but that's how she became the inaugural 145 champion. And when she dropped it to Cyborg, we kind of just heard of that. But what people don't talk about is how good GDR is in her kickboxing, how really, really good she is as a striker. And it's not just because she's long, but it's because her timing is so precise. She caught Holly coming in with some of Holly's, forward combinations, a lot of her movement forward into the head kicks. She was reading Holly's movement, stepping out of the way, countering on the half step, popping out, stepping back in with a feint, popping out again, and then throwing shots. She is what you would call being in the matrix of striking. She's that level to where she is playing the game that you think you're playing just to get you to do what she wants you to do. She's like, yeah, I'll play your game, but it's really not yours. It's mine. I'm just kind of doing this until I'm ready to throw my combinations or read where it is that you feel like you have your advantages. Then I turn on and show you what real striking looks like. So this is not a foregone conclusion for Amanda Nunes. Amanda does possess, I would say, a little bit more of a well-rounded game. It's a black belt on the ground. She did win her first fight by avoiding a lot of the striking confrontations with GDR. So in this fight, and that was a long time ago. We're talking years and years ago. So obviously both fighters have grown since then. What do I see happening in this fight? I see Amanda, to be honest, trying her luck as a striker here with GDR. I think that, at least early in the fight, I think that Amanda wants to see if she can go toe-to-toe with GDR. I think she wants to see where this striking is, and because, look, she's been dominant. She head-kicked Holly Holm, who head-kicks everyone. She knocked out Cyborg, who knocks everyone out. I mean, she walked right through Ronda Rousey. She is the greatest women's fighter to ever live. And I'm not saying that's like all up here and Amanda's walking around with this big ego, but it does lend to the fact that when she stands up, she puts people down. It just happens. She's that good. And then when you bring in another world-class striker, the likes that have beaten girls like Holly Holm, albeit controversially, Amanda's going to want to test herself. She's going to want to see at least where she's at in that fight early. And that could cause trouble for Amanda. I do think that at some point, Amanda does go for a takedown or does try to grapple in some way and get this fight on an even playing field as far as taking the striking away from GDR. And then that, I think, will be the difference, just the availability to control the fight at any point by taking it to where she feels comfortable, which would be the ground, or to a grappling exchange somewhere, whether that's a cage, whether that's a clinch, whether that's, somewhere on the ground or somewhere where she can control GDR without having to strike with her the entire 5 rounds. So I do think Amanda gets this win. I think it's not going to be as action-packed as her last fights have been. I think she starts the fight very fast. I think Germaine starts the fight very fast. And from there, I think Amanda starts to methodically either find ways to get a takedown, find ways to get GDR off of her regular striking game, and gets a decision. So I'm going to say Amanda Nunes by decision, 5 rounds. I know it seems like a long time for 2 world-class strikers to be going at it, but I do think this one ends in a decision. Devo, what's good, man? What is going on, baby? How you doing, man? Oh, Devil, real quick, we're doing our predictions for Saturday, but I have a little bit more on the line this Saturday than regular predictions. So this is kind of long story short. I have to pick 4 of the 7 fights that we're picking. So that's 2 on the prelim card, 5 on the main card. I have to pick 4 of those 7 correct. And if I don't, you guys get to pick my punishment. One that's been already laid upon the chat is a Carolina Reaper with no milk. I have to eat the whole thing. We're still seeing if I can actually do that. I don't know if I can actually do that and still be alive. So if it's not life-threatening, I'll do it. And if it's not, can't break TOS on YouTube, but think of something, Devil. Islam's thinking, some other people in the chat are thinking, think of something for me to do if I lose my predictions that you guys can bestow upon me. I'll do it on live stream that night or, on one of my weekly live streams. Or if we can't do it necessarily here, we'll go film it for you guys. So let me know what you think. You guys have until Saturday. You don't have to decide right now. But before the fights start, let me know. Sound good? Cool. Devil, what's up, my man? All right. Next fight, guys. Oh, my God. They just don't get any. They just keep getting better. They just keep getting better. As soon as my energy, I know how it's going to go Saturday. I'm going to be pouring all my energy into the Mike Perry fight. And I'm going to be like, whew, glad that one's over. All right. Take a rest for a second. Now look at the screen and bam, Peter Yan, Uriah Faber comes on. I'm like, oh my God. And then Amanda's going to fight. And I'm going to be like, whew, sweating, doing my whole thing. And then I'm going to be like, all right, let me rest. Boom, Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, man. I mean, this card is the most stacked card of the year by far. All right, so, oh man, I mean this fight right here, guys, it's your classic technique versus you don't know. Okay, so let's talk about Alexander Volkanovski. This guy is out of the same gym as Israel Adesanya, same gym that Dan Hooker fights out of, a former rugby professional. This guy played rugby as a professional. Guys, get this, he's 5, 6, or 7, right? This guy used to walk around in his rugby days. You can find pictures of him at 220 pounds. 220 pounds, 5'6". Jacked up. My man was thick with about 7 C's, just thick up, right? He has since transitioned into MMA. I'm telling you, this guy is scary. Devil, he's scary. He's transitioned in MMA. He's been doing MMA simultaneously with, participating in rugby, but now he is transitioned a graduate of the Tiger Muay Thai system in Bangkok. This guy is no joke. He is technical. Obviously, he possesses a power that Max Holloway has only seen maybe with Dustin Poirier as far as their actual punching power. But, I mean, you look at the wins Volkanovski has. He took some huge shots in that Chad Mendes fight. He got hurt in the Chad Mendes fight and came back and stopped Chad Mendes. And not a lot of people are stopping Chad Mendes. For reference, the second fight with Jose Aldo, Chad Mendes went the distance with him. So there's not a lot of guys stopping Chad Mendes, and Volkanovski did that. And then he dominated Jose Aldo in a decision. So the guy is definitely deserving to be here. He possesses power, great power, good chin, great pressure. The gas tank is something we'll have to see because we haven't seen a 5-round fight out of Volkanovski, and this is always the classic, will he get tired? But, yeah, I don't know. They've got his he's 20-1. I saw that with Mike Perry, too. Islam, they said he was 13-4. Mike Perry's 13-5, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know what the UFC's rankings deal is here. We got to get somebody. I'm gonna make sure I email the UFC here. Your rankings are incorrect, but I appreciate it, Islam. Hey, you know what I'm saying? The W.A.D.E concept. We're on top of our shit over here, man. The UFC. You know what I'm saying? All their stuff. They got some interns over there. They didn't want me to intern over there, but they got some interns working that are putting up wrong statistics. You know what I'm saying? We got it on lock, though. But, yeah, Volkanovski's a savage, man. This guy is he's going to bring Max very heavy hands. Obviously, you guys can see the difference in their height, but the reach advantage goes to Volkanovski, which is odd. It's very odd for a guy 5 inches shorter than someone else to possess a then 2.5-inch reach advantage on that person. Just the way he's built. But I do think it's going to lend a little bit to Max Holloway that he is facing another power puncher. Because the reason Dustin Poirier, in my opinion, was able to handle Max Holloway so well was because when Max started to chain together those strikes like he does and bring the pressure, Dustin was able to catch him in the middle of that combination, in the middle of that kind of forward motion that Max brings. Dustin, even on the back foot, was able to plant himself and throw big shots to get Max not only off rhythm, but then to wobble him. He wobbled Max early in that fight, and that does make a difference going through a 5-round fight. You're not just the same after you get cracked. I don't care if it's 30 seconds, the next round, the next 2 rounds, your equilibrium is not the same. You can recover, but you still feel that shot the entire night. And to have it happen 2 or 3 times like Max did early in that fight, it changed the fight. For sure. Right. Good point. Dustin did a good job of letting Max start to kind of come into his space. Dustin didn't fight him on it. Dustin didn't say, no, you're not going to come forward. Dustin allowed him to come forward, time him, stand square, use big shots, plant your feet, and catch Max with something coming in. And it forced Max to kind of readjust. And Max won rounds in that fight, but Dustin was able to implement that game plan to perfection. So for Volkanovski, it's going to be a little bit different. Volkanovski's not going to stand back and let Max walk toward him. Volkanovski's a pressure fighter just like Max is. He's going to come forward, get in Max's face, try to throw big overhands, and it's not going to be wild, too. He throws technical overhands, uppercuts behind him, rips to the body. He ripped Chad Mendez's body apart. So it's definitely – Alexander fights – he fights both. Obviously, he being a Muay Thai expert, you can fight kind of switch stance. You can switch when you do combinations. You can switch for power kicks off the back foot. You can switch during combinations, but he mostly stands orthodox. So this will be orthodox kind of straight up. But both guys, even Max switches too during his combinations. So it'll be definitely a pressure fight. Both guys are going to come forward the entire time. Max's gas tank's been tested. We know he's not going anywhere. Volkanovski, we don't know. He says he's got the gas tank to keep up with Max over 5 rounds. Oh, man. Max has been so dominant, and he's still so young. I think Max is my age. I think Max is like 27, so it's tough, man. It's hard to pick against Max. It really is, because the only guy that's that's made Max deal with the power of his strikes in the last 5 to 7 years has been Dustin, and that was a weight class up. So I think Max is going to do what Max does here. Now, the reach advantage being in Volkanovski's favor does kind of make me a little hesitant to think that Max is just going to walk forward, tag Volkanovski with technique and not pay for it on a counter punch. But I do think Max accumulates a volume of strikes on Volkanovski, which Chad Mendez was doing as well. He was peppering Volkanovski, and Volkanovski was landing big shots behind him, but it wasn't as much as Chad was touching him, especially early in that fight. And I think Max he's perfected pace. He's perfected the art of combining combinations on guys and just overwhelming them with pressure over 5 rounds. I think he does it again here. Closer than people think. He probably wins. I would say maybe you look for a split decision here for Max Holloway. It's going to be a close fight, but we will go to Max Holloway with a decision. Yeah, Max has got a tough time coming. Volkanovski's going to bring an entire lunch pail. He's going to bring the entire lunch cooler to the fight. He's not going anywhere. And then, see, again, I'm pretty sure Colby's 15-1. I could be wrong, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that Colby's 15-1. Islam says he's got the great winning by decision. Okay. Look, I can't be mad at that. I could very easily see Volkanovski coming in and taking that strap off Max. I just don't know what he does with this pressure Max puts on him for 5 rounds. Because Max isn't going to go anywhere unless you clip him. And even then, he sometimes comes forward more. In the Dustin fight, he got clipped and tried to come at Dustin a little more. So we'll see. I think Max has got this, though. All right. This is the main event, guys. This is the one that's going to hopefully clear up this kind of cog in the wheel at 170, because we have Tyron Woodley kind of hanging out, not fighting. We have Leon Edwards kind of hanging out, not fighting. We have Masvidal now with kind of looking around to say, what am I got options. I got Colby. I got Conor McGregor maybe. I got different maybe Kamaru Usman. So this fight's been in the works for a little bit. This is the time to pay it off. We got Colby Chaos Covington. Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare. What's up, 901? How you doing? 901, real quick. I'm telling everybody that comes in chat. I'm sorry, chat. We got predictions we're doing right now, as you can see. We are predicting 7 fights for Saturday's UFC 245 card. Oh, panic. Changed the name on me. My bad, dog. We have 7 fights. I've got to pick 4 right, or I'm going to have to take some sort of punishment from you guys. So be thinking about it. What is something that I can do on camera, on YouTube, so I can't break TOS, I can't get my channel shut off, and something that's not going to actually kill me or do something where I have, created some sort of bodily harm to myself that's irreversible. But I will do some sort of punishment if I don't win 4 of the 7 fights. Let me know. Chat, work it out. But all right, we've come to our main event. Eat a raw egg. Okay. I mean, if you guys want me to eat a raw egg and that's it, I mean, I listen. I grew up on Rocky 1 through 5. Eating raw eggs is nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? Might want to come with something a little harder than that. You know what I mean? Your boys out here muscled up. Raw eggs ain't nothing. Kelsey gets to do your makeup on camera. Ooh, that might work. That would be funny. That would be funny. If we did that, I'd have to wear it. Like, I'd actually have to wear the makeup for a day and film it. That would be funny. Eat a spoonful of cinnamon. Okay. See, now we're getting good stuff. The cinnamon challenge is very good. I like that too. Keep them coming, guys. All right. But those are very good. Even the Carolina Reaper, I still want to look into it more. With a photo shoot, oh, now you're wilding, Devil. Now y'all are wilding. I give you guys a little bit of room to go ahead and poke the bear a little bit. And now look what I've done. Kelsey throws, okay, see what we're doing? Kelsey throws 5 eggs at you. Now we got some Vogue. Yeah, I know. This is, oh no, what did I do? Anyway, all right, let's pick this main event. So we have this, guys, this fight is so close. I don't even know how to pick this fight. Kelsey gets to do your makeup on camera. That's it. Okay. I mean, if that's the one, that's the one. I'm down. I don't think Kelsey's still in the chat, but she will get a kick out of that. Let's give Kelsey an extra Christmas present this year. Okay. Then it's settled then. Kelsey gets to do my makeup on cam. It's settled. All right. I'll even throw in that I've got to wear the makeup for not 24 hours, but I have to wear, Kelsey does the makeup on camera. I have to wear the makeup then throughout whatever day it is that we wake up and do that. If we do it on camera, live stream, or if we film it, then I make it as a YouTube video. I will show you guys like throughout the day me wearing the makeup. That's what we'll do. Settled. God, I am not losing 4 fights. All right, listen, is it too late to change the Mike Perry fight? Oh, God. All right, anyway. We have our main event, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. I mean, these guys are mirror matches, man. This is like, if you guys have ever watched the Marvel series kind of stuff, there's this guy named Taskmaster, and I think he's even going to be in the new Black Widow film. And Taskmaster, what he does is basically learns your fight style and mirrors you. He learns how to beat you by mirroring you in a fight. These guys are mirror matches of each other. They're both high-level wrestlers. Both win with pace, basically. They've weaponized pace. They've been able to push guys to a point where they don't have anything left, and they overwhelm them. You've seen it in multiple of the same opponents. So you've seen it in the RDS, the Rafael dos Anjos fight, Damian Maia fights. These guys fought them the same way, other than the fact that Colby used his hands a little more in those fights, and that might be a little bit of the difference here. Colby has an output that's ridiculous as far as his striking output. He just continues to strike. Whether it's on the feet, whether he gets you on the cage, lets you up a little, starts striking again, puts you back down, strikes, stand up, strikes. Kamaru Usman is more of a power puncher. He's going to select his shots, no pun in, no kind of better word for it, but more selectively. He's going to be very measured with the shots he throws, with the takedowns he goes after. He's a very patient fighter, but once he gets into a groove, it's very hard to stop him, especially if he gets his hands on you. Kamaru Usman will hold you in the position that he wants you to be in the entire round, and if you let him, the entirety of the fight. He will put you there. He will beat you down with shots, and he won't let you get up. Colby is a little bit more, lets you get up, hits you, then puts you back down, hits you, lets you get up, hits you. It's just constant movement and pace from Colby. There you go. Panic changed it back. There you go. But that's what we're looking at. Two guys that do eerily similar things, but in different ways. So I think in this fight, the difference is going to come down to what happens. Hear me out. What happens if Colby starts to overwhelm Kamaru Usman with pressure? I don't think anybody's pressured Kamaru like Colby's going to do to him. I think, and that's not with the wrestling. I think they're both great scramblers. I think they're both great wrestlers. Colby's going to touch Kamaru a ton of times. He's going to put his hands out there and touch Kamaru. Kamaru, in my opinion, has 1 KO power. He has knockout power that I haven't seen from Colby. And where this fight kind of splits is Colby has faced guys that have big-time knockout power and has done, I mean, he basically dominated Robbie Lawler. And Robbie Lawler has big-time knockout power. And he just handled it. He did the things he needed to do to handle that. Now, I don't think Kamaru is going to fight the same in any way. I'm simply stating that Colby has found a way around being touched by big-time punchers. That isn't to say that Kamaru can't do it. I just don't think he does. And I think you guys are not going to like this. I don't even know if I like picking it this way. I'd like to see Kamaru Usman win this fight and put Colby away. But even more so, I'd like to see Jorge Masvidal do it. So I'm going with Colby Covington. I know. I'm sorry. Colby Chaos Covington is going to win a decision. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth fight. I think it's going to be a close fight, a la the Amanda Nunes-Jermaine Durandame fight. I nailed the name. Chat, let's get it. There should be a challenge for how many times I can say Jermaine Durandame right on Saturday. But I think Colby wins by decision. I think he just puts that crazy output of strikes on Kamaru and starts outpointing him, because that's in this. I think that's how he wins a decision. I don't think the wrestling, I think, almost nullifies itself. Colby can scramble with the best of them. I mean, look, I take fighters for their word. Dustin Poirier and this is, take it for what you will. Dustin Poirier, who doesn't like Colby at all at this point, was on Twitter yesterday talking about his wrestling ability, and someone had mentioned if Colby and Habib strictly wrestling went at it, who gets on top, or who's better? And Dustin just replied, Colby's right there with him. To compare Colby Covington to the greatest wrestler we see in MMA today in Habib Nurmagomedov is very high praise. And when I see that type of fighter saying that about Colby, it doesn't just speak to his wrestling. I think it speaks to his counter wrestling, his defense wrestling, his scrambling. So Kamaru could possibly get Colby in bad positions for Colby just to scramble right back out of them, put that output and pace on Kamaru, continue to touch him, and accumulate points. That's how I see this fight going. I think you have a new 170 champion, Colby Covington, and I think probably they book the Jorge Masvidal fight immediately after the fight. I think as soon as they put the belt on Colby, whoever it may be, because he said it's not going to be Dana, I think they book that fight immediately, and you just smell the money at that point. So, real quick, let's recap, guys. Let's recap. So, I'm going to go back to the big. Let's go back to the big screen here. We have Ketlin Vieira. Someone, I need to write this down. Someone write it down. I have Ketlin Vieira by submission second round. Mike Perry by TKO second round. If Mike Perry is the fight that loses it for me, I'm going to be so mad at myself, because I originally came into this podcast saying I'm going to pick Jeff Neal. Like, I love Mike, but I got to pick Jeff Neal. But we're going with Mike Perry. We're going to go with Peter Yan. We are going with Marlon Moraes, Amanda Nunes, Max Holloway, and Colby Covington. So in my opinion, 2 champions retain, and then we have a new champion at 170 and some big-time contenders at the lower weight classes as well. So that's it, guys. That is our predictions episode today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that this new added punishment element is fun for you guys. It's fun for me. You guys can see the energy is popping today. Like, I'm nervous. I don't even know, like, I got to text Kelsey now and let her know that she's got to get her makeup ready for me. Like, oh, it's going to be so bad. What, guys, next week I have so many, I'm supposed to do something with the company I'm working for as like a production assistant for like a really big company. And I just talked to a photographer about doing some shots for this modeling company I'm working with. Oh no. All right, man. It doesn't matter. A bet's a bet, and so we're going to see how it works out. Eslam says, I got Usman, Alexander, Nunes, Moraes, Jan, and Neal. Okay. Honestly, man, that looks pretty good. Yo, Islam, you know what I'm saying? No one else knows. Why don't you just slide me those picks? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. Those are good picks, though. Those are definitely good picks. If that were to go that way, I would have 3 losses. I would have exactly 3 losses, and I would be putting on Kelsey's makeup. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. I think let's see what time the prelim card starts. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. I think the prelim card. It just depends on where you're at, too, guys. So let's look here. The prelims start at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So for me, we'll start streaming. We'll probably start streaming during the early prelims just to get into the flow of it. I like to get in and chat with you guys a little bit and have somebody, you know, some sort of setup to where we're kind of feeling our way into the card. And Kai Kara France is on the prelim, so I definitely want to watch him fight. So we're gonna probably start streaming at 4 p.m. I would say Saturday, 4 p.m. Be here. We're gonna do some fun stuff. We'll do like I was thinking about doing like some cool reference games too during the card. So like I don't know if it'll be like a drinking game or something goofy. We'll do to where I can interact with you guys more. Like every time there's a knockout or every time there's a kick to the dick or whatever it is, we'll do some sort of goofy like either drinking game or some sort of reference tab poll, something we'll do. And it'll be fun, man. It'll be fun. I really love doing these live stream reactions with you guys. So going dunk hunting Saturday, but I'll be there. All right, my man. Kill me one while you're out there for sure. Kill me one of them mallards. You know what I'm saying? Send it this way to California. We'll taste some of that good duck meat. And yeah, we'll get that Saturday. We'll be there. Everybody, make sure you come in, join in. We're going to be starting at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 4 p.m. Don't be late. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll get with Kelsey. We will work out our predictions, and I will see you guys Saturday. I'm very, very nervous about this. But, hey, a deal's a deal. Take it easy, guys. Thank you so much. This is the W.A.D.E Concept, and you already know we are debating everything. I will see you guys Saturday.